Hello guys, welcome to what would be the second episode in the TrueTone podcast. This is just here to give you a little heads up that we actually recorded this video back in February.
Yeah,
and,
end of February, so,
so some of the things...
information, or some of the information anyway, is out of date by the time that you're seeing it. Sorry about that, but it's due to, we've both had a lot of commitments outside of TrueTone and client projects within TrueTone, so we haven't had the time until now, and obviously it's not a priority over those things. But
nevertheless,
so here we are.
It's there, it's been done, enjoy what you hear, and do what you normally do, and we do apologise for Charlie.
Yes, we do.
Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the TrueTone podcast. It's same three us again, same three of us again. It's me, Kristian, Charlie Cooper, and Simon Flint. Say hi.
Unfortunately.
Say hi.
Hi.
Excellent. It's a little bit of a rainy podcast today. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it is raining.
In the roof.
Can we hear the rain? Can we hear the rain? Can we hear the rain?
Well, yeah, we can hear the rain.
Can they hear the rain? Just.
I'm questioning why I'm involved in this friendship.
I'm questioning why we've now got a load of dead space on the podcast where we're seeing if they can hear rain.
It's more
where
just,
if they can't, it's just us sitting there going...
It's just an experiment. I'm just interested. But anyway, moving on. Cheers. Moving on. Thanks to all those that tuned in and watched the first episode, because we had, last time we checked, over 90 views, which isn't loads, but considering we're just three random guys sat in a studio, in a shared studio, just randomly put it up with no warning, 90 views is amazing, so thank you for checking that out.
And it's a local podcast as well. We cover local bands mainly and local sort of events that have been going on. So we kind of, I suppose, we do limit our audience to this area. Yeah. So to have 90 of you out of that much smaller percentage to come along, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And it is an hour long, and to account as a view, you have to watch at least like half of it. So.
And we have had more than enough of each other after an hour, so we don't understand how you.
Yeah, we've been here for an hour already, and we're already thinking about giving up anyway. So. But yeah, moving on. I think we've got a few things we want to talk about tonight. The first thing, actually, as Charlie sort of slightly led into it, with being local events, you had a gig you wanted to have a little chat about?
Yeah. We had a great gig. It's our first gig of the year last weekend. Of all places, Burgess Hill Catholic Community College. That's St Paul's Catholic College, I think is the actual name of the school. Should know, I was there last week. But yeah, a band called In Loving Memory, who you guys should remember. They opened for us when we did our EP launch. They called us up. I think they got in touch with us through Ryan, kind of asked if we would help them out and be their main support along with a band. It was their first gig called 1111. Great set, really good lads. All young guys, sort of 16 to 18. And it was their first gig, and they really, really did well with it. I'm looking forward to seeing more from them. A Brighton band called The Pump, sort of like a punky kind of feel like the Pistols, or maybe even the Horrors you compare them to with their kind of imagery. Their guitarist, it was really unusual to see. Their guitarist shredded. So imagine like Steve Vai playing lead guitar for the Sex Pistols, right? I know it's weird, but it was cool. He was a great guitarist. Then we went on first gig of the year, and it was fantastic. A great crowd, really, really good people. It was so professionally set up. The Ariel Theatre Company provided all the lighting and the sound equipment for free for the charity, which is just fantastic. A massive stage of a drum riser, which Kelly hated, as you can imagine.
Yeah, she doesn't like drum
Kelly,
risers,
if you're watching, I still have to apologise to you about that. Kelly, she's kind of, I think she likes to sort of make sure she's getting it right and sit in the back like what she feels a drummer should do. She's not the sort of drummer that wants to be seen, the centre of attention. Exactly. And so when we found out a couple days before she was sat on a drum riser, she was not impressed. But she got up there and she did it. So
that's good.
But it's great. And we're the first band Kelly's been into. So it was great. It was a great experience. There was strobes, Phil. If you're watching, we had strobes. We legally had strobes.
Phil, if you're watching, this does not mean you are allowed
no strobes. No strobes.
If you want strobes, you have to do a gig at Burgess Hill Community. The St Paul's Catholic College, because they actually have a license at the school for strobes.
Fair enough.
So Phil, if you want strobes, you know where to go. But yeah, it was fantastic. Then In Loving Memory came on, and they're a covers band. Had everyone going, absolutely brilliant. I won't say too much about it now because we don't know the plans, but we're looking to do a big gig in Crawley with them in the summer.
Nice.
So yeah, it was great. It was for a great cause. It was for the Angus Rowland for Get Me Not Fund. Angus Rowland was a young lad, young musician from sort of the mid Sussex area. Who he had leukemia and unfortunately didn't get over it. I think he died when he was about 14, 15, and In Love and Memory started playing his favourite songs and songs they think that have come out since he died that he would have liked. It's a really nice concept.
Yeah.
And
cool.
you know they've got.
It'd be funny if he didn't like the songs.
Yeah. God, that.
Well, you never know.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, that we went on for that. We donated the last of the EPs we had as well to raise some money for them. And yeah, it was just a brilliant night. The feeling of it, the whole concept, everyone enjoyed it. It was no trouble. Like, you know, you go to these college gigs sometimes, and because it was licensed, no one was sneaking alcohol because they could buy it cheap enough at there. And yeah, you know, anyone who's been to a gig at Imborn or Sackville or Thomas Bennett probably knows what I'm talking about here. And yeah, it was fantastic. It really was great. And I just want to give a shout out to the In Love and Memory boys, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Let's have a little round of applause.
Hey.
But yeah, keeping in with sort of new events, me and Simon as TrueTone did a little event last night as well. It was our first proper event of the year, really.
Yeah. It was Danny Dangerously recording a live album at the Imperial.
Yeah, we spoke briefly about it in the last episode, and last night all went ahead. And God, what a bloody nightmare! That was hard work, wasn't it? Jeez.
It was hard work. It went well though.
It did. It went surprisingly well. We did say if anyone was going to do it, it'd be Danny, and you know what? He bloody did it. He had a whiteboard. People were writing on the whiteboard what he was going to sing about. He got up with a group of people he's never played with before, and just
didn't know that.
Yeah, never played with these guys before.
Well, not all of them together.
I think he said one of the people he hasn't actually met before. Like,
I'm really sorry, but
that was meant to be the guy that was playing the theremin who wasn't there.
Guys, I'm really sorry, but the roof literally just pinged off.
Oh,
it's fine. It does that.
Fix the roof mid-podcast. It's fine.
Yeah,
go for it. Yeah, fix the roof. Fix the roof.
Where's the gaff tape?
Yeah. So while he fixes the roof, I'll keep talking.
Look at me, yeah.
Jesus, what was he talking about? Danny Dangerously.
Yeah.
He had a whiteboard. He had all the sort of people were writing on the ideas for the songs, and he was just going with it, and it was brilliant. You know, there's some crazy ideas, some actually relatively sensible ideas, which I think really was besides the point. I don't think he wanted sensible ideas. I think he wanted people to give him I don't think sensible ideas was. Like there was one. There was one that was.
Ideas, there's so much more you can do with that.
Exactly. I mean, like, the subject was like love and prosperity or something like that, and it's like, okay, yeah, cool. But how many songs have we got about love? You know, that kind of defeats the object. Anyone can write a song about love.
What are you talking about? What are you trying to say? I'm
trying to say you write too many songs about love, Charlie.
Okay. Well, when you know Simon, it's difficult not to.
It is hard.
Yeah, it is.
And the lack of the love he receives, I feel like I should make up by writing a few songs.
But yeah, in all seriousness, it went really well. It was a good laugh.
Yeah, it was good.
It was definitely hard work.
It was, because for the lineup he had drums, bass, a DJ, a violin,
an electric violin.
A combination of sax, acoustic guitar, some flute, pipes. Yeah,
that guy was cool.
Interchanging between different songs, and then
Dan was on guitar,
acoustic, and electric, and then vocals.
Yeah, and then good old.
How many channels does your desk have?
16. Do you know what?
We did that in 40.
Yeah, we managed to fit that on with a channel spare, including effects. So
I've got to say, I'm impressed, guys.
No, because I had one was effects.
No, there were still 2 spare.
Oh, was there? Oh, yeah. I don't really remember.
Because one of them was meant
set one up for a vocoder, didn't we? And then we never used it. Right, I remember. Well, there you go. There's some boring technical knowledge to go in this podcast. But it was all good. And we're going to start mixing as soon as we can. I mean, we've kind of just had to shove the studio back together in the last few minutes, roughly, to get this
before
done.
We started the podcast, we had to put everything back together because the entire room was just full of flight cases and stand bags.
Nothing was connected.
I walked into the studio just over an hour ago and I was like, what has happened?
I'm surprised we've got it all together in an hour, actually. I mean, it's not perfect.
It's gone pretty well.
I think they wanted me to help, but it was so much more funny just to throw stuff at them.
Yeah, cheers, Charlie. So now we've got to mix it, and we've got some more shows coming up with Charlie soon. So
I've got
it's gonna be tight.
This month. First one this coming Friday.
Yeah, at the Charcoal Boner. Then we're down March the Mods in Bournemouth, in-house techs there, so we won't be with TrueTone. And then on the 28th, we're back with TrueTone.
Yay!
Fucking hell. At the Crawley Down Social Club.
No. So
I'm not going to jump out of the bush and
but
say
it was all
this
good.
time.
So when the album for Danny does come out, it's worth checking it out because it is quite interesting. It's quite a laugh, and all the money's going to charity. I think they said they raised £200 last night alone, which isn't bad going.
They had donation tins going around.
That's just from donation tins. You know,
was no tickets or anything?
No. That was just donation tins.
It was in a pub, so they can't really ticket it.
Yeah, when we've ticketed events on the venue, because, for example, we've done ticket events at social clubs and at bars, for example, at the Reds bar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How does that work when it's normally free to get in? You know, how does that...
I think
does that
places like that, they have sort of their members who go there, but I don't think they necessarily have that many sort of punters walking in off the street.
Obviously, members, if I do a ticketed gig at a place where there's members, of course, I would never expect the member to buy a ticket.
No.
Because they're already paying to be there on a membership.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Somewhere like the Reds Bar, or like, I suppose if a pub's got a big function room, like the Grasshopper or something, that makes it easier.
Prime example, the Black Dog.
Yeah, good example.
Got their room set up for gigs specifically for people to do ticketed
what about the Reds
events.
Bar? Because we've done I've been involved in several charity events at that place.
I don't think the Reds Bar is open normally. I might be wrong.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, but I think is it members? Is it?
No, it's just a bar.
Maybe they just got their own thing, their own deal.
Maybe they just do.
It's normally charity too.
Yeah, maybe they just sort of put a thing up saying "shut for private event" or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't just
because we can hire it out for because obviously
saying that no one really tends to go
there
there on a Friday or a Saturday because it's not in town. So
I don't think many people
unless it's an event on.
I don't think many people go, I fancy a drink. If you go to Reds Bar, no, they go to the closest pub.
Yeah, I mean, I only ever go in there when I go to football matches or if there's an event.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, that's a little interesting we covered.
Yeah,
indeed.
Cool. A bit of a tangent.
No, I think it is music relevant.
It's still relevant, but we were talking about Danny.
If we went on about like how good the beer is in there, that would be irrelevant.
Well, me and Simon don't drink beer, so
how good is the beer, Charlie?
Yeah, how good is the beer?
It's alright. It's pretty
beer.
standard. I think they do Sam McGowan there. That's quite nice.
Yeah. Right. Good to know.
Anyway,
jump cut.
Well, I don't think there's going to be as many jump cuts in this episode as there was last
not.
time because that was a lot of work to edit.
That was.
So.
You
didn't have to edit it.
It was it was a lot of jump cuts. I mean, I think with the first one as well.
We were still sort of getting in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, I think it's going to take us a while.
We're still waffling now.
Well, it'll take us a while to get there. If you listen to a lot of like the big podcasts out there, if you listen to that, it took them a while to get that sort of rapport. And that, so we'll get there.
We'll get there. So that's Danny. That's Charlie covered.
Yeah. What else has happened?
I don't know. Not much has happened.
Not much has happened.
No, things that are going to
it's been quite quiet.
Yeah, we kind of got some things we want to chat about. Something that leads on from what we're talking about with Danny. Obviously, his sets all made up on the spot, and some of it fairly.
Can't believe he got away with that. It's so cool. So cool.
Well, of any of the people that you could think of, Danny is probably the best one to do it because so many of his songs were made up on the spot anyway.
Yeah. There's a lot of When I played in the band with him, there was about 3 or 4 of our songs that were just play a thing, okay.
And then he just sort of rapped over the top.
And then they just
sang over the
eventually
top
became songs that we repeated to play, and it's cool.
The only other person I could think of, weirdly enough, who has had that is Phil Martin. The Marcus City drummer. He would fucking love to do that because he just wouldn't take it seriously at all. He just bullshit the whole thing.
He did play with Dan for a while though.
He did.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But leading on from Dan and this experimental music was kind of something I wanted to talk about because it happens a lot now. But I don't really know. Because I was going to say I wanted to think about its place in sort of mainstream media, and by that I don't mean like chart music and like on TV and music videos everywhere and whatever the latest Top of the Pops, is that a thing? I don't know.
I don't think that is a thing anymore. No.
Experimental. Do you mean innovative ways of marketing or innovative ways of writing music?
Music itself. Yeah,
right.
I mean, like you see, a lot of, like this weird spacey stuff. I see it a lot of uni, and these guys are coming in, and their stuff they're making is great, but it's not your stand. It's not
like EDM,
song,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's not like a cool verse, chorus, and a song and some lyrics and singing. He's got some rhythm, and it's just sort of stuff. And what?
Marzi, jump cut.
Yeah, but it sounds great, but I don't think I'd ever want to buy a CD of that and listen to that. It's great for guys and musicians, I think, that understand the music and go, that's awesome, the stuff you're making, because the skill that goes behind that. But I don't think anyone that doesn't know anything about music will listen to that and go, yeah, that sounds awesome, I'm going to buy that. I just kind of...
I don't know, because I see that side of it. Personally, me, I wouldn't, but I think it depends what sort of music you're into. I mean, if my brother would be a great person to have here now. Dan's really into house music and you know, EDM and stuff. Like he's just booked his Creamfields ticket for the second time around. Big Dead Mouse fan, Hannah Wants, MK, people like that. And I think he would quite like that because he goes onto SoundCloud and listens to like 2-hour mixes of stuff that he doesn't know what it's going to be. You know, I think he think it'd be really cool to see something like that. I don't know. You know, it's a shame he's not here really.
There's a difference between going on to SoundCloud and listening to a 2-hour thing once and then going, oh, that's pretty good. But would you necessarily buy a whole album like that?
Yeah,
that you're actually paying money for.
Again,
that you'll go, oh, I really want to listen to that again. Or is it something you listen to once and go, oh, okay.
Yeah,
and then you move on to something else.
Yeah, would you seek them out to go and see that person live necessarily? Would you do?
Yeah,
no, I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of it, but it's never massive, and I just think that there's a certain amount of people.
We're probably the wrong people to ask as well. You know, there probably is a demographic of it. But it's probably quite niche.
Yeah.
You know,
but the artists may not be people that want to make a career out of it. They might just be doing it for
don't get me
fun,
wrong.
so...
I've got nothing against it. I think it's cool, and some of the stuff is amazing. And I'm like, I wish I could bloody do that. That's fantastic. But you know, I do sort of feel like sometimes, you know, people will show me like, oh, look at this thing I've made, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But you're not going to get anywhere with that. Like, no one's going to listen to that. No one's going to want to listen to it. Not like anyone that, not the standard punter. I don't think is going to want to listen to that because they're not. They're looking for something completely different. They want to listen to in their music. They don't. There's nothing wrong with that. But
no.
You know, I see people go, oh, we're going to be the next big thing because we've done this weird thing. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
That'll be why you're not the next big thing. Because
everyone will go,
really weird.
that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to normal music.
Your drummer's a cow. What are you doing?
Because even like Royal Blood, who everyone knows what they are at the moment, great band from Brighton.
I love that band.
They're experimental in a way, but they're still doing songs with a structure.
It's still you can still look at something that they've done and go, yeah, that's recognisable as being a song.
Yeah, you can listen to like you hear that riff to Little Monster when it comes in. You know that it's gonna be.
Yeah, you got who was the other band I was thinking of to do it?
No idea.
I can't remember what they were called. I had another band in my head
Crime
that did a
Addiction.
similar thing. No,
they don't do anything these days.
They were just rubbish anyway.
If anyone doesn't know, that's Kristian's fans.
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I was thinking about it a bit last night. And I was thinking about it the other day because, as I said, someone at uni was showing me their work, and generally, like, props to them. Their work's fantastic.
Yeah.
I just wondered. I was like,
is there a market for that for maybe advertising stuff, like?
I think that's close. Yeah,
selling it onto an ad agency and getting used on
library music,
TV
that kind of
and
thing?
on fun.
Like library music. That kind of thing, Not music. I should now have to explain what library music is. Yeah. Library music isn't music they play in the library. Library music
is
not
like elevator music.
No. I thought that's exactly what it was. No. Library music is a library of music that you can actually you can record, send it off to an online agency, and then film producers, radio producers, TV shows, whatever
has access to that library.
People have YouTube channels who want like an outro song, something like that. Can use that, and then you'll get paid a royalty as a writing credit. It's a cool idea. It's a good cool idea. It's been going on for a long time. It's almost like an archive, I suppose.
Yeah, it's essentially pretty much exactly what it is.
Yeah, sort of a good market for things like that where you want something really catchy and where people can go, oh wow, listen to that, but aren't necessarily going to go and buy it.
I think that there's a lot to be said for sort of this experimental music but I wouldn't buy it, and I don't always get it. A lot of the time, people show it, and I'm like, I don't get it.
When I hear experimental music, I think of Mighty Boosh when they're trying to, you know what I mean. They're in that shot trying to make like a. I think there's one they were trying to blend the sound of a crab dying with a, and it just like obviously that's a parody, but it does make you think like. You're just
it's
being
not
hipster
that
for the
far
sake
removed
of being hipster now,
what's actually happening.
I do think it's cool, and
we've all killed a crab in recording.
What?
That's exactly what I was just talking about. Did you not listen to what I said?
No, I saw
Might be.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, I'm following.
Right.
Sorry, I got confused.
That's not
I think it's cool, and I think definitely those guys, musicians, probably appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think musicians listen to music differently.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Definitely.
I really like. I might. For example, as I was leaving the house, my parents had The Voice on. It was like last week's recording.
Yeah, my parents were watching it today.
Yeah, they are. And like some of the people have got great voices, and it was really weird because my mum and dad were listening to them. Going, yeah, that's all right, it's all right, and asked me what I thought. And I was like, yeah, the guy can sing, but I've heard this a million times before, like from in a covers band or from a busker or from another famous artist. I've heard this. You know? Like,
they haven't done anything original with it.
Exactly, and when I hear a soul singer who's fucking amazing, like I've heard 20 people that month who are just as good at doing the same thing, and it's like, you know, I get it. I get why people like it, and these people are incredibly talented. I wouldn't take that away from them.
Hard to be excited about them.
Yeah, it really is. You know, I'm just a little bit. I don't know. And as a singer, you always get, "Oh, why don't you go on X Factor? Why don't you go on X Factor?" And then you proceed to imagine stamping on the person who said it's bass, because, and you're like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's just not really my thing." And you're thinking, "Fucking hell." I cannot remember the amount of times someone said that to me. And, you know, no matter how good you are, if you go on X Factor, you've got no... And put it this way, Jedward gets to the semi-final. A dancing dog...
Yeah,
Britain's Got Talent. Beat my pal Sam Kelly. He was in he was in the final for that. You know, and it was just like... Wow. That happened.
It's all about Simon Cowell making money.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a whole podcast in itself.
Yeah,
so
let's move on.
That's two topics we got aside. We took a topic last episode that we could put into a podcast.
Oh,
so
that
now
was
we can have a podcast
that was Fruity Loops.
about Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And one about
I forgot
and one about
that.
Dr. Drum as well.
Oh god.
Okay.
Are we doing that now?
No, let's not.
No.
Let's jump.
That'll still be in another podcast.
That'll be along with Simon Cowell. He won't be in the podcast.
Oh,
we should try and get Simon Cowell for a podcast. Let's do an entire hour-long podcast of us kicking the shit out of Simon Cowell.
Ask him why he's such a hi kids.
No, I tell you what, I quite like Simon Cowell.
Yeah, fair play to him.
But, yeah, he's made.
Wow, we're on opposite ends of this argument.
Well, he makes a shit ton of money.
But
fuck it, wouldn't if you fucking
if you could, wouldn't you?
Okay, so. But what you're saying is, would I sell out? Is basically what you're asking me.
But he hasn't sold out.
He hasn't sold out.
He's made other people sell out to make money.
That's even worse. He's encouraging young, potentially great musicians to sell out and ruining the music industry. What the Christmas number one is always the Christmas number one is always an X Factor tune.
No, it wasn't. There was one year where it was Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, I was so
and one year where it was Bob the Builder.
Yeah,
the look on your face when I said that, you just looked so happy.
I love it, man.
I don't think you can sort of blame Simon Cowell for like the X Factor being the Christmas tune. That just shows that people.
Yeah.
That's fucking good marketing.
It's good marketing. If people want to listen to that and they want to pay for that, then fair play to them.
People decide they want to listen to, and okay.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Unless you want to listen to the radio.
You kind of do. If you want to walk, walk around at Christmas doing your shopping.
Yeah, it's kind of. Forced upon you. My favourite thing about my shop, because then we can play whatever the hell we want. So it's normally just all sorts of rock music and we had the Electric Six on recently.
What? Which one? High
Both.
Voltage.
Yeah, and Gay Bar. We've had going in this down.
I was talking about that song to my brother the other day. Did you remember the Armstrong and Miller show?
Yeah.
There was one where there was just like classical pianist playing at a party, and he just starts. Going into like other songs, he starts going like, I'm on it, and they all look at him. He starts doing Gay Bar, and someone bottles it. It was a really good sketch.
Oh dear.
Nothing related to music. I'm sorry.
No, we've gone off on
Continue, our overlord, sir.
So Charlie, saving your tech segment for later. I know you had a few things you wanted to chat about this evening. So
there's one thing it stuck out to me mainly last year, not this year, and I'm sure that's just because we haven't had. We only had the one gig. And it's
not a good year, is it?
So far. No. So far.
Chris broke his arm. What can you do about it?
Yeah, it's all Chris's fault.
It is Chris's fault. Oh, another thing.
Chris.
He turned up at the wrong venue last gig.
Really?
Yeah, I heard this story.
I haven't heard this.
I have to tell this in the podcast. I'll get on to what I'm saying later on. Sorry. And Chris, if you're watching, I'm not sorry.
No, that's too funny.
This
sorry,
is great.
Chris.
So, I put up and round where the sports hall is of the college where we're playing.
In Burgess Hill, this is.
In Burgess Hill. This is in Burgess Hill. Remember that bit. We've had this gig booked in for a while, you know?
I can see where this is going.
I think you do. So I've parked my car up in like the basketball court they've mocked up as a car park. There wasn't still kids playing basketball in there, right? It's all going well. My phone goes, oh, it's Chris. He's probably at the roundabout wondering what exit he has to take. Hello, mate, where are you? I'm here, Chris. No, you're not. I'm here. You're definitely not, mate. I think you've gone to the wrong car park. What do you mean there's no one car park? So no, there's another one. You know, as you come in, there's a roundabout. He's like, where are you? I'm like, Burgess Hill. Like, why? Because that's where we're gigging, Chris. No, we're not. We're playing at Crawley Down Social Club. Yeah, in about 6 weeks, Chris. What? I was like, you're winding me up. He's like, no, I'm here. I was wondering why the stage wasn't set up. He's like, where's Simon? I was like, Simon isn't taking this gig. He's like, yeah, he is. He's taking the Crawley Down gig. Yeah, I know he's taking the Crawley Down gig, but we're not fucking playing Crawley Down today. Right? So, I'm like, you are winding me up, aren't you? He's like, no, why would we have rehearsed a 45-minute set for a paid gig that we have to hire techs and PA for? He's like, I thought it was a bit weird. Yeah.
Oh dear. So he's been out of the whole band thing for a while. He's just confused.
You know, it's almost like he's become a drummer.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Poor Chris.
A
moment
Chris. Moment for Chris.
Well, Kelly's boyfriend, Johnny's from Scotland, actually made the comment after he found out about that Chris was the reason Scotland wanted independence from England. They'd had enough of Chris Ryan and his shit books about the army. Okay, so that's a nice little
anecdote.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before that?
Okay, we didn't actually go into what we were talking about before that. So we've had a few instances of this. Our drummer, Kelly, obviously a female. Would you believe it? So
with a name like Kelly.
Well, it's Kelly Jones
Really?
out of Stereophonics. He's a guy.
That's true.
But yeah, that's the one, right? So yeah, that's besides the point. So basically,
No, trust me.
so basically, we get it a lot where it is. I'm not gonna lie, it isn't the norm to see a female drummer.
No,
it isn't the norm necessarily to see females in bands. It's a very rock music or guitar music, whatever you want to call it, is a very male-dominated environment, and I'm glad I'm starting to see that change. You know, there are people like
female-fronted
like Lord, for example. You know, she's got that kind of, she's got a band behind her and that, and that's great. Like, I'm actually quite a big fan. I really like what she's doing. And Kelly gets it a lot. Even when we were at BIM together, that's like where I met her. It would be she was the only girl drummer on the course, which I thought was quite cool in a way.
Yeah,
I was like, no, fuck you. I'm just as good as you. How does that, you know? Like, and it was great. We get it a hell of a lot where we're setting up and people see Kelly sit down behind the drum kit, we set up and they're like, what?
You've got a female drummer?
They literally, they die from a brain fart there and there in the venue, right? And it's just, people make such a thing out of it. And a lot of people are coming up going, that's really cool. But they go about it in the wrong way. People are like, oh, I really like the girl drummer. We haven't got two drummers. Yeah. One being a guy, one being a girl. She's not a girl drummer. She's a drummer. Yeah. The fact she's a woman has nothing to do with it.
They view it as being a gimmick that you've decided to go with to make your band different.
I remember my nan, God bless her, and she was asking me, I was on the phone once about she was asking about the band and everything. I explained like, oh yeah, I got a lady called Kelly playing drums for us. I went to college with her, and she was like, oh, a girl drummer, how novel. I went, she's not fucking Trapeze Eyes, right?
That would be
amazing. Playing drums on a trapeze.
That'd be impressive. Kelly, if you're watching,
we're doing that. You may not have wanted a drum riser, but you were having a trapeze.
I doubt she's going to watch this anyway. I'm in
anyone's
going to watch it. She's enough of me anyway. But she and it really winds me up. I can remember we done a gig at the Canterbury Arms in Brixton, which I don't think that's there anymore. I think that has now shut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew they were shut and they were putting flats there. It keeps happening.
I think I did Canterbury Arms once.
Oh, really?
Well, near the Brixton Academy.
Yeah, it's sort of behind it.
Yeah, you know, it's next to the police station.
Yeah.
It's a great pub. Like, I miss that place. It was like the staple place to go after a gig at the Brixton Academy. Yeah. Especially if there was some like Ocean Colour Scene playing there, because every Friday was Time Tunnel, which is like all modern soul and ska stuff. So it was nice. Fitting. Like see Miles Kane or someone like that. Yeah. So we supported Distant Echo. That's Ryan's uncle's band. They're like a jam tribute band almost that do loads of two-tone stuff as well. They're really cool, really good fun, lovely people, giving us lots of gigs. And we were packing up our gear after the set, and there was someone outside, as I was wanting my carpet and stuff in it, who actually asked me why we had a female drummer. So, we got a girl playing drums for you. I was like, no real reason.
Because she's a bloody good drummer.
Exactly, no real reason. Like, she's a drummer. She plays extremely well, and she's suitable for our band.
Yeah.
And she's a good friend.
Yeah.
You know? And he was like, quote, "Oh, I just don't understand why you would have a girl playing drums for you when you could have a bloke."
Well, that's Brixton for you.
Yeah.
And I went,
what do you say back to that?
I said, "Can you play drums, mate?" He went, "No, she's already fucking better than you, isn't she?"
Well, fair.
And then carried on with my
comeback.
business. And he stood there scowling at me while I was packing up my car, trying to intimidate me. And I was like, fuck off. But yeah, it really rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't understand why that is. And I mean, I was watching, I was listening to one of the podcasts I listened to, Lots of Broken podcast, the PewDiePie and Simon Face Ken one.
Yeah.
And they had the RPG Minx on there, who's like one of the only female Let's Players. And they spoke about it. It turns out it happens in a lot, but it happens in gaming as well. It happens in music, it happens in gaming. It doesn't happen really in society anymore. There's equality.
But there are still certain sort of areas where it's still male dominated.
Exactly. You wouldn't get away with it in the workplace.
No.
In anything like that. You know, aside from segregation sports, which is understandable why, you know, especially contact sports.
Yeah, but even then, it's not... There's male rugby. Why would women play rugby? There's still women's rugby.
Exactly. And the same with any kind of sports.
That applies to any sport,
especially fight sports. For obvious reasons.
Yeah,
you know. But why is it seem to be acceptable in music? What is that about?
Yeah,
I don't think that people are acknowledging that they're being. I'm just going. I'm going to go way back. I don't think people are aware that they're being sexist.
Yeah, they're not doing it by intention, but it's just pure ignorance, and that can be frustrating.
I think it is pure ignorance, but I think it comes. I mean, we all said it ourselves. You know, you go, a female drummer is rare, so when they come out, you go, oh, cool, that's different. That you don't see that. I mean, I know me personally.
Whether you approve it of it or not, you still acknowledge it.
And I guess I'm so used to it by this point now.
Yeah, you're just I don't think anything of it. But the first time when you go, we got a drummer, her name's Kelly, and it's like, oh, awesome, cool. You actually found a feat. That's brilliant.
But it wasn't like I went out going, I want something else.
Drummer. It was just, I need to find a bloody good drummer.
Yeah, and I remember, I actually didn't
drummers don't exist full stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then female drummers are also even rarer. So to me, it was just more that kind of, oh, cool, awesome.
The thing of it with us was, I literally, we needed to find someone to replace Phil after he went back to uni.
I ran out of water. Carry on.
Very interesting. And we needed someone to replace Phil after we went back to university.
And you'd had a session drummer for a little while, but obviously that's not a permanent solution.
It isn't. And we couldn't find our sound. We could only gig the sort of stuff we do. We were kind of like at a standstill with that. We could gig, but that's all we could do.
Yeah, you can't keep
Kelly
writing.
Come to mind. I just Facebooked one day like, look, I know it's a long shot. You're living in Brighton. Her response was, well, I live right next to the station. If someone can pick me up from Three Bridges for rehearsals and drop me back off, then there's not a problem with it. So I was like, okay, let's have a go at it. And here we are, almost a year later.
Yeah.
So about 8 to 9 months, I think she's been playing with us now. And
I don't think that there is a massive amount of particular sexism, I suppose, in that respect. I think
there's no sex in music.
Yeah, just drugs and rock and roll, nothing else. But I don't think there's any sort of particular idea of sexism towards people. I think it's more, as say, it's an ignorance, and it's just. I had another word in my head. I'm not sure what it was. It's just that people don't think of it. People don't expect it. So when it happens, it's just like, I don't think there's many people that go, but she's a girl. She can't drum. I think it's just like,
if
okay.
It's
just unusual.
Probably saying it's a really poor joke. You know, just lads out drunk. Like, you know, like.
Because I mean, it's like women can't drive and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, and drummers get the piss taken out of them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
just something else to take the piss out of a drummer for.
Yeah, but I think there's band out there, Hearts Under Fire, which are a fantastic band.
Yeah, a brilliant band.
Full female band, proper rock.
I'm not familiar.
Metal band. They're really good, man.
I think we've shown you a couple of their tracks.
Yeah, but they're just full.
Did you record them?
No. They're relatively.
They're based in Guildford.
Oh, so they wouldn't come to you.
Yeah. No.
Well, apart from anything, they're based in Guildford.
Yeah. But they're fantastic.
They're a brilliant band,
but they're better than a lot of the male bands out there. So I don't think it's really there. I just think it's that kind of
metal needs something fresh anyway.
Yeah.
Again.
So Charlie's tech segment. What have you got for us this week, Charlie?
Okay, so I'm going to sound like a really shit telemarketing advert now. You know when you You know when you spill something and you haven't got something like so you know when so anyone who plays an acoustic guitar, he's going to understand how much of a pain it is to restring an acoustic guitar as opposed to especially electric guitar, especially like a through body string guitar like a Telecaster or something like that, you know, or something with a tunematic bridge where you slide the string in, then you wind it on.
Magic.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, acoustic guitar's not like that.
Acoustic
you got
guitar,
pins, and you got to try and get them out, and they're really tight. So people tend to use pliers, which you're not supposed to do.
But it
damages the
I've got a
pins,
really
damages
cool tool
the
for doing
bridge.
it now. It doesn't
There is a tool. There's a tool that's like designed for it. But it's
really?
way
Mine's
expensive,
actually meant for something else. It's like a little hook.
Oh, okay.
No, it's cool. It's like on a screwdriver kind of handle.
Right.
And it's like a curved hook, so you just slot it under the pin and.
No,
It's off.
that's clever.
Yeah, it's meant for...
the tool basically.
There is a tool
that,
designed for
Oh
that,
really?
yeah.
No, I don't actually know what this is for. I just found it in my shed and I was like, oh, I know
That'd
what
be
to use that
useful.
for.
Yeah, that'll do.
And,
Yeah, but you know, I know I've done it with putting my hands under the sound hole
Yeah,
and
I've
trying to
done
push
that.
it, and it just
That
does your
hurts.
fingers. It really
Yeah.
hurts. You don't get anywhere. You're there for hours.
Yeah.
Introducing the power pin.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I haven't got one, by the way.
No, nor did Charlie actually invent it. So, but,
You know that.
but it looks pretty cool.
It does look like a good idea.
I don't fully get how it works. I kind of looked at it briefly.
I watched a tutorial of it, so I can kind of explain. What I'll do is I'll send you a link to the tutorial you can put in the description.
Okay, cool.
So it's a 2-part pin, essentially. So it kind of turns your acoustic bridge into a tunematic bridge.
Right.
So you take your pins out, never have to use those again. You know, that's it. Power pin comes in 2 parts. You unscrew it, it's 2 bits, you go inside the sound hole of the guitar, pop it up through the hole.
Right. And then it screws
You then
on
screw
the
on,
other side.
tighten it, align it. It's then got like a, I suppose just like on any tunematic bridge, one individual to the pin, you slide it through, the ball of the string hooks in.
Yeah. Like with
Wind on, just like an electric guitar. So if you're a gigging musician...
That's going to save a lot of time if you break a string or if you've got to change them just before you go on.
So instead of spending half an hour stringing an acoustic guitar, you can do it in 10 minutes like on an acoustic, like on an electric one. Sorry. It's a really cool idea.
Yeah,
it's on Kickstarter in a minute.
It's just it's not actually a...
I think you can buy them. It's a bit like the Little Thunder pickup, which is actually going to be next podcast text something. It is still on Kickstarter, but you can still buy them.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's just such a great idea. I haven't looked at the RRP for that yet. Can we look at that? Have you got? I think they're about £30, which to me is that's worth it. That is so worth it. Sounds like a lot for pins that come with the guitar, but no, they're not pins that come with the guitar. And you actually
when you weigh up that against the amount of time that you're going to save.
Well, they advertise that you get a slightly brighter tone using them as well.
Oh, really?
I haven't tested this method myself, but I will be. I'm sure I'm going to invest in these.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to. I mean, I restrung 2 of my guitars and took one in for a setup the other day, and one of the guitars I restrung was my Epiphone EJ200.
Yeah,
and as I was doing it, I was like, now I really understand why I need them. It is a bit like one of those things. Like, look what I've got, but even still,
but you forget how much of a ball ache it is.
Oh, come on!
And then you do it. And you go, oh, God, there needs to be a better way of doing this. And you sort of forget up until the next point where you have to do it. And you go, oh, it won't be that bad. Oh,
you're
God.
Looking at, they're about $64.99.
So about £30.
So about £30-40.
Yeah.
It'd be more closer to 30.
It's quite pricey, but not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I think considering what you can spend on things.
Yeah.
That aren't actually...
To be fair, they're supposed to improve the tone of your guitar.
They are,
They're supposed to make it last louder, maybe brighter tone.
Yeah.
I can see people who own very expensive acoustic guitars having a problem with this. People who own your Gibson J200s and your Mark.
Chances are, if you've got a guitar that expensive, it's probably easier to change the pins on them anyway.
Because they're made better, because they're crafted more.
They're not going to be great, but
they're probably not going to be made out of the cheap plastic ones.
Yeah, they're not going to be perfect. They're definitely going to be cheaper, they're easier than a bloody stag.
If I was having a custom acoustic guitar made, I'd probably want pins put in it.
Yeah.
That's probably what I want. You know,
if you're having a custom one made.
If I was going to buy a Martin D28,
Charlie Cooper limited edition.
Yeah,
2
of my guitars are custom, which are pretty.
That's cool.
I'm having my casino brought kind of back to life as a Charlie Cooper custom. Moomin's going to make me a Mile High City scratch plate.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, really looking forward to that. Just because I wanted a guitar that I can take up to London for gigging, and I won't be as worried about it as I would be one of my custom buds. You know?
Yeah.
But,
so yeah, in short, with these the power pins.
Yeah.
You basically you turn your bridge from what you get in an acoustic guitar to more like what you'd have on an electric guitar, essentially. It's a really good idea.
I think it's
like the last thing we looked at, me and Simon ripped to shreds, but
this one generally, it's a good idea.
It's good.
And it's funny because I was on the phone with Kristian the other day, and we talked about the Mary Cable. And I was like, I still kind of want one. He was like, yes, so do I, but I don't.
For no reason other than just going, look what I have.
Exactly. Like, we basically established. At first, I thought it was a great idea until we discussed it in the podcast, and you kind of brought me around to your way of thinking, and it made sense to me. And I was sort of Kristian was like, why do I still want one? He was like, because you want to be able to say to people, oh God. I was like, that is what I would do.
That is exactly how you do it as well.
Just said,
I'm eating a peanut butter sandwich at the time. You're right, mate.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's funny because he still thinks we're joking.
Anyway,
that is what you sound like.
Charlie, there was something else you wanted to chat about, apparently? Like, I don't know what it is, but you said you had something else you wanted.
I did have something else. Are you ready?
Can I make a prediction?
Yeah.
Is it about Noel Gallagher's album?
Which comes out in 3 days. Three, Charlie.
This isn't the first take we've had of this. So yeah, Noel Gallagher's album, which comes out in approximately 3 days. I believe the release date is the 3rd of March. What they've done is on the Vivo channel, you could stream it about a week ago, stream the whole album, get a taste for it. I think that was up for 48 hours. And recently the iTunes store had it available for 24 hours. I think it was 24.
What, as a download or as a stream?
No, as a stream.
Right.
As a stream. So I'd already bought the pre-order album, so I had the singles anyway, but you could stream the entire album, minus the bonus tracks.
Right.
So you literally go into iTunes store, and it was on the front page, and I thought that was brilliant. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
You stream it, and you think, this is, if you're like me, this is great.
Like,
I'm really,
this is brilliant.
really
I'm definitely going to buy this.
Well, I'd already pre-ordered it.
In your case.
Because I heard some of the demos that were going to be on it, so I kind of knew I was going to like it anyway.
Yeah.
Which actually, funny, only one of the demos I listened to actually made the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's still quite a lot of new things for me to look forward to. Well, I just thought it was a great idea, because rather than doing a Bono and ramming it down people's throats, putting it on your iPhone,
you've given them the option, but not made them have it.
And you can still buy it. Now, the thing with free music, I think it's good and I think it's bad on different levels. I think if you buy it, you actually end up listening to it more. When I've had free download music, for some reason, I don't listen to it as much as when I bought. I don't know why.
Yeah, but is that because it's just, it's free, I'll get it? If it was something that you really wanted and that you would happily pay for, but it happened to be free...
Oh, yeah, for example...
Then you'd listen to it as much as if you had paid for it.
Let me think. 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, Madness released a live album that came free with a newspaper.
And
I still listen to that a lot. Day, So there is that side of it. But I don't know. I just feel like I value it a bit more, because especially with up and coming bands, people who stream sort of torrent songs from really young new musicians. That really pisses me off.
That pisses me off as well. Fair enough if it's a massive artist who you not paying for it is not even going to make a dent in the amount of money they make.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if it's like a mainstream
even still, you
artist.
can't have one rule for one.
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
no,
if I'm honest, I don't think that's fair enough at all. We had this discussion at uni.
No,
and I think there is in no way you can justify that. You can't go into, you can't go into Sainsbury's, and buy a Sainsbury's own brand Kit Kat, but take the actual Kit Kat for free because that's a branded, already well-known, established name. That doesn't make it right. You've still stolen it. It's the same with that. Just because you're well-established...
I'm not saying it makes it legal.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying... But it still make it morally correct. It doesn't change the fact you've stolen the Kit Kat. You're a moron.
No, but I mean, it doesn't... I mean, it doesn't affect the person that you're stealing from as much.
It's not as big as an issue.
It's not going to have as big as an impact directly on them.
Yeah, that was the point I was making.
I think overall on the industry, I think, it does. I really do.
The whole reason...
but I meant on them individually.
Yeah.
And really, the long and short of it, the whole reason why there is illegal downloading is because when CDs came out to replace vinyl, they're £20 a piece.
Yeah.
Which back in the 90s, or late 80s when they come out. That's a lot of money. Now that's a lot of money to spend on an album.
Yeah.
You know, Blu-rays don't even cost that much anymore.
No.
And you think, in a way, they kind of shot themselves in the foot.
A little bit, yeah.
These record companies.
I also think a big thing of it is that because of the way music outlets have changed, and pardon me, there's so many ways now that you can access music. People seem to think it's something that they're entitled to. And that they shouldn't. Like, I definitely know from speaking to them, they seem to think, but it's music. Why can't I should be able to listen to it? I shouldn't have to pay for music. Well, why? Why shouldn't you have to? Of course you should.
I'm not saying it's electricity. I need it. I shouldn't have to pay for it.
Well, yeah, you can say it's food, water. You know,
you still have to pay for it. And you need
house,
that a lot
a house
more
over
music.
your head. You know, and why is that any different with films?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but people torrent films
People
as
do
well.
torrent films. That's true. Yeah, it does. But yeah, people seem to think for some reason they are entitled to. No, you're not. Someone has worked loads of people have worked their ass off to make that 30, 40-minute album for you.
And one side of it, I do understand some people like, hang on, I've got all this stuff on vinyl. I just want to put it on my iPod now. That I kind of get.
I get that.
It's like, I bought it once. Why should I have to buy it again on a different format? But by that logic, you could go and buy a vinyl converter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's ways of doing that.
Sorted. You know? Like, it's a tough one because it's almost become part of Western culture now that you download what you want. You take what you want. As far as media goes and files, it's yours. You have it. I can remember when we did our induction at BIM, Fergal Sharkey, singer from the Undertones.
Yeah.
He came in. He's actually one of the pioneers to try and stop sort of illegal file sharing.
Yeah.
And one point someone made, which was a point, was a valid point, wasn't it? Is it really that different to when you were kids copying tapes for each other, copying vinyls onto tapes, which was a really good point that you raised.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah,
and the response was, which I did respectable. He said, "Yeah, I did that. I was young. I did that. I didn't think about it until you are a working musician. You don't think about that kind of thing. But even you got to remember at the same time the scale that it was being done on."
Was much smaller.
He compared it to the exact phrasing he uses was the comparison to scrumping and then taking a tractor into a field and knocking down all the apple trees. And taking them all. And it was like, so what I liked about that, the kid had a really valid point and he didn't go, oh no, fuck you, you don't really talk about that.
He had a valid sort of comeback.
And he even said to him, I totally get what you're saying. I agree with you on one level. And I just thought you answered it really well.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know, and it's difficult to the point where you have to give music away for free. People listen to you because they won't buy it.
Yeah.
That's the position we're in. I mean, you know, luckily enough, we did have people buy our EP.
Yeah.
You know, we gave the last of them away to charity and they sold them and made some money for the charity.
Yeah.
Which I'm really pleased to make that decision. One of the reasons we made that decision was because we're not really going to need that EP for much longer because we're going to be recording our album. Yeah. So, you know, we're not going to have much use and all of those EP tracks will be on the album.
Yeah, so it's going to be newer recordings.
I was rather, if we're not going to use them, rather than giving them
away, or chucking them away,
if the charity can use them,
charity can benefit from it. Yeah,
absolutely. And those the last of those went. Now it's a point where it is almost become impossible for bands to really make a career out of it. And I can remember, I think it was back to the subject. It was Noel Gallagher who said that he felt that it was because bands don't work hard enough for it and then anymore, and they're not willing to go and do a set and drive back at 3 o'clock anymore and all cramped into a car. We do that all the fucking time. You know, like the Sherlocks responded to that, saying like we've lived in a van pretty much for 4 years. Touring.
There are plenty of artists that still do that, and Noel Gallagher saying that nobody does that anymore is a bit arrogant.
Yeah, it is, but that's his character.
Noel Gallagher.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, I really. It's one of those things where people are trying. People haven't stopped caring about making music. People, it's at a point where also it's got to be financially viable. Back then, bands could afford to go on the dole, rehearse in a shed, and go and play in clubs. You can't do that now.
No,
what's wrong with being in a shed, Charlie?
I didn't say there's anything wrong with you in a shed. But now, we've got to pay to rehearse. We've got to pay to get to rehearsing through petrol, whatever, train tickets, whatever. You've got to then go to a gig, which 9 times out of 10 you got to pay for the privilege of playing the fucking gig.
Yeah, which is
I tell you what, I hate pay-to-play gigs.
Well, they get around it. It's not called pay-to-play, it's called ticket deal.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well,
I know.
yeah.
I know, it's the same thing,
essentially
but that's
it's
the
still
loophole.
pay to play.
Okay, so you've got to buy £200 worth of tickets and sell them on. You're not from around here or anything. I have an audience from around here, but fuck you, I've got my money.
Yeah.
Essentially what they do. We actually was offered to play at Noel Gallagher's after show party for the O2 gig.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Until they wanted us to buy £550 worth of tickets. And so
yeah, we was well.
Yeah. That wasn't Noel Gallagher. I've got to make that straight. That was a promotion company.
Yeah, there was one where we won in London, and then like we had, if we didn't sell our tickets, we weren't allowed to play.
Yeah.
Fuck you! I was like, all right, well then, sod off. I won't be.
I'm not even at the point anymore. Like, it's not even. I'm not even looking at promotion companies anymore. It's the culture of it because they have to do it because they won't make their money.
Yeah,
I actually feel sorry for the promotion companies because they have to do that.
Yeah,
it's like at a point where it's not even great, and that's the whole point. With one thing we agreed, we will never do ticket deal.
Yeah,
on our
but
events,
I think from
we
the
will never do ticket deal.
From the point of view of the promotion company, they're going, well, we can't make our money, so we'll make it off the bands, and then they can sell the tickets, and it's their problem. That just makes the promotion company lazy because they can't.
Their promotion.
Yeah, their job as a promotion company is to promote the gig and sell the tickets, and they're going, fuck that. We'll just get the bands to do it, and we'll charge them instead.
If they're going to get the bands to sell the tickets,
the bands should get the money from the tickets.
They do. That's the thing. They get given the tickets at half price, and you sell them. You sell them at full price. Is the idea, but we never do that. We sell them at what we get them for because we want to get people through the door.
Yeah.
Now, my main issue with it is, from my view of it, the promotion companies should not advertise Ticket Web as being where you get the tickets from. In that case, they should say contact the bands for your tickets. Contact the band that you're there to see. For tickets.
Yeah.
If they contact headliner, there's none left. The headliner should then say contact main support, see if they've got any tickets. No tickets, then you get to. And alright, people, that's going to take ages. Trust me, if you contact the band wanting to buy tickets to their show, they will be back to you.
They will bite your hand off to sell you tickets.
They will, Trust me, I get back to people. Everything's on my iPhone. I've got several links, page links to my phone. I've got my business plan for my guitar tuition.
Yeah.
I've got I've got the band. I've got some other old groups, sort of closed groups that don't use anymore. And it's Twitter. And
as soon as something happens, it pops up on your phone. You go, oh, that's somebody trying to give me money for tickets. I'll definitely get back to them really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like to a point where people go, the band's not trying hard enough. Hang on a minute, stop putting fucking obstacles up then.
Yeah.
It's
not. Here's some tickets. You've got to sell them.
Yeah.
Or you're not allowed to play. Meanwhile, we're going to go over here and sell tickets off of our own website.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Laser Hub used to do a similar thing back when Laser Hub did, because Laser Hub used to do a band night and an open mic night every month. And
God, they don't do that anymore. God, they don't do that anymore.
Well, they're not even a thing anymore.
Yeah, they've shut down.
Laser, what is it now?
Laser Quest.
But
Laser they're the big company.
Yeah, they're the chain company.
But when we played a few the band nights for Laser Hub, and it was a similar thing where they sent us through a pack with some posters and some tickets, and they wanted to sell tickets. Fine, cool. But that wasn't you have to buy these tickets and then sell them. They just sent the tickets.
Yeah, and then you give them back, and then
and it was like if you sold 50 tickets, I think it was 50. That's just say you sold 50 tickets. The money for those tickets you'd give to Laser Hub. Every ticket after that,
you kept
the money.
Yeah.
Whenever I've put on a show, it's never even crossed my mind to ask people to do that.
Yeah.
Never. It's never even. Don't get me wrong. I will always say to the band, please try your best to promote this. Please get everyone you know you're playing this and get people down, which I think is a pretty reasonable request.
I think,
even to the point where I say to them, look, do you want me to give you some tickets to sell? If they go, no, not a problem, I'll sell them.
Fair enough, yeah.
But, and without sounding cocky, for my High City shows, I have no problem selling tickets. Even if it's on the tour. I'll sell if it's a 200 capacity venue, like we've sold like 80 in advance and then another 120 on the door.
You grabbed your shows, I know.
But a lot of to be honest, a lot of that is because of I'll be totally honest, it's friends and family, people who know us, people bring their friends along. We're quite lucky to have that.
But that's how you build up a fan base.
Yeah. It is.
Because they bring their friends along, their friends go, I really enjoy this. And then the next gig, they're a fan, and then they bring their friends along.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't come along to the smaller shows we do, like at the Back Dog and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you notice that. When we play at the Back Dog, we might play like 20, 30 people tops. But
the ones that you put on yourself and promote yourselves.
If 25% of our crowd from the big gigs we do came to the Back Dog, we'd round that place. But they're probably not going to. because it has to be a big event, and we have to really promote it and put it on as something special.
Yeah.
It has to be a showcase or an EP launch, and we have other bands playing with us.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think that's always going to be like that. We've always said the ones at the bigger shows and the showcases are much, much better gigs than anything else.
Yeah.
They are. I think people need to make their gigs a bit more special, and it's harder when you're
production value.
Yeah, I think it's harder when you're a promoter promoting and like putting bands on like Moomin and Fern.
Yeah,
it must be more difficult for them, especially when
they've got 5 gigs a month.
Yeah,
and people are like, well, it's all the same type of music each time. I'll go to the next one.
I think 5 gigs a month is too much.
Yeah,
if I'm honest. I mean,
and that's each promoter.
2.
So every weekend there's 3 or 4 gigs going on.
Yeah, not everyone's going to go to. I mean,
nobody can afford that.
No one can have. No one has the time.
No one wants to go to a gig 4 nights of the week every week.
Can you imagine how your ears are going to be ringing on Monday after that? And Jesus,
people give us.
I do that for work, and my ears are ringing quite a lot after those, and that's even wearing earplugs. Like it is fucking difficult.
People give us stick, as in like band members, saying like, "Oh yeah, you only go to the gigs you play at." Well, so hang on a minute. Most weekends we're gigging.
Yeah.
Where else do you expect us to be?
When do you expect us to be going to these
other
other
weekends
gigs?
we're kind of catching up with our friends, family, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and you got other things going on there.
Yeah. And even if you do only go to the gigs that you play at, it's not like you go there, play, and then fuck off again.
Yeah, and that's
you stay and you watch all the other bands that play and support them. So
we used to get that at one point. There was a point where someone said to us, like my band, like, I was discussing with them, you don't go to many gigs, though, do you? I'm like, what are you on about? I was like, you're only really at the gigs you're playing at. I was like, we're playing every fucking gig.
Yeah.
We're at them all.
Yeah.
So I am at every gig. No, I am at only gigs I'm playing at, but I'm
playing most of them. Yeah,
I'm at a gig every week because I'm playing every bloody week.
Yeah,
so, and for kind of like the age groups that we're in now as well, we've all got jobs and
yeah.
Everyone's got their own stuff going on.
To do. And you can as we were just saying, people don't want to go to more than people don't want to go to 4-5 gigs a month. No, neither do the guys playing them really.
First thing we ever did with Danny at the Wingspan, it was the Wingspan's last ever gig. I remember I did the set, hung around for half the next band's set, said to Danny, I've got to go, mate. I've got work at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, this was fair enough.
This was a 9:45 at night.
Yeah.
Right?
Leave.
I went home, had a shower, put my uniform on, crashed on my bed for about an hour and a half, and went to work.
Yeah.
Like,
people can't say you're not committed to it if you're doing that.
And I don't think anyone did say that about me on that occasion, but it would have been really unreasonable if they did.
Yeah.
And it is hard because it would be. I'd love to be able to go out to all the gigs, but another point of it is, as we mentioned last podcast in Crawley, a lot of the nights don't put on the sort of music I listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm not going to buy a ticket to go and see. I'm not going to say crap bands because they're not crap bands; they're great bands, but bands that I wouldn't listen to because I don't like that sort of music.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. I think that local music's always going to be tough and hard.
Yeah.
And I do think a lot of it is production values on the shows. I think more people will come out when they think it's a bigger event because they feel as though there's something to go to.
Yeah.
And I think those little gigs, people see it as just a pub gig. And I'm like that myself. I'd much rather go to a show that I know is going to be...
Well, that's why you've got every 4 to 6 weeks rather than 5 months.
Yeah, but there's loads of examples. I mean... Again, I bring up the show that we put on, but we put a lot of effort into making it a show.
We did,
And your EP launch, it was all the effort into making it a show. And then you look at things like a gig for Amy.
Yeah,
that
loads of people there. A lot of effort
amazing
gone into it.
Ran all day as well, man.
Yeah, ran all day, an amazing turnout, it was an amazing cause. So why did everyone? It was the same bands that play and the same people and the same PA systems in the same venues as all the other pub gigs that no one goes to. So why did everyone go to that? Because they thought it was something.
It was
special.
more of an event.
And and it's not just the fact because it was raising money for what it was. That had a big part of it. But there's loads of people coming out and saying that was a great day. Like you look on the face of it, what a great event, a great gig.
Got the keyring from
I even saw people saying, that we should do something like that again. But then next week you got someone posts on there, oh cool, there's a gig with 4 bands that are at this thing you said you were like next weekend that's free. No bugger turns up. And it's like...
I think there's also sort of a thing with the perceived value of it. If it's free, people go, well, it's free. It's not going to be that good then, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's £3 to get in, you go, Must be some pretty good bands playing if they're charging us to go to it.
Yeah. I think Dan's event last night is also because that was pretty turned. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, there was a lot of people
storming, there. But there was a lot of people
there. Again, it comes down to how much he promotes it.
He made it an event. He made it. This is a big thing that's happening. This is you should be here, as opposed to we're doing a good gig.
Thing is, if you go around telling people it's going to be the biggest event of the year, at least half of them are going to believe you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Up, you know, and it's like
and, he had a gimmick for it. I mean, let's be honest.
He had a gimmick.
It was a gimmick.
And that's not.
I mean, yes, it was a gimmick that went very well.
Yeah, and there's no dig at that. It was a gimmick, and he knows it's a gimmick. That's the point. You do it because it's something different.
Yeah,
it's a laugh, and it gets people interested. Because covered everything you want to talk about?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. Going back to what we said at the beginning, just as we sign off, thank you again to the however many of you were, 90 odd people that checked it out.
Yeah, we'll put links in the description for all the things we've talked about in this podcast. We did before.
And again, do get in touch if there's anything you want us to talk about, if you want to be involved. All of that good stuff. And don't forget to check out My High City. Keep an eye on TrueTone and what we're up to, because we've got some cool things coming up again soon. This is the end of the TrueTone podcast, episode 2. See you next time.
Bye.